Hi there, welcome to Strengths Profile. My name's Eowyn Shanahan-Dover, and today I'm going to be talking about all things groups. Firstly, let's talk about setting up. After logging in, head over to your dashboard. Then go to the left-hand side of the screen and click Groups. From here, click Create a Group. Now you have to have a group name, but the description and notes are optional. The description and notes are good for differentiating between each group, especially if you have a lot of them. Add the group name and click Next. Next, we're going to be looking at Manage Your Users. Now, if you've already got profiles to put into the group, this is where you can pop them in. If you haven't got any yet and you haven't purchased them yet, you can click Skip. Finally, we'll be adding members. Again, you can do this later on, but if you do have the email addresses ready and you've got the profiles in the group already that you did just here on Manage Your Users, you can click the plus button here, add the email address of the person you want to send to, and then click Send. For now, I'm just going to skip. This here is your group dashboard for that particular group that you have just created. Next, we're going to have a look at adding profiles. After purchasing, go into Groups, click View into the relevant group, and click on Manage Your Users. Now, if you have profiles in the group, this is what it will look like. If you don't have profiles in the group, it will say no profiles. So you click on to Manage Your Users, and here you can see the product, how many you have in your dashboard, your account, and how many you have in the group account. These arrows will stay grey if there is nothing to transfer over, or they will be blue and you can transfer them from the group back to your dashboard or from your dashboard into your group. Make sure you click Save Changes. Next, we're going to have a look at sending profiles. There are two ways to send a profile from a group, and I will go through both of them. The first way is handy if you've got a big group of people that you want to take the profile. This way is the shareable code. So after you've transferred your profiles into the group, click the shareable code button underneath. You will see this pop up here. There are some options you can apply to the link. For example, the withhold option, where you can withhold the results from the person you're sending the profile to for a maximum of 30 days or before if you release it before. There is also the career guide option here. Now, if you have both of these as no, you can release it later on. Finally, the email domain. Now, because this is a live web link, every time it is clicked, it will use one of the profiles in your group. So to stop it from being shared with people outside of your business, you can add an email domain. For example, I've got @strengthsprofile.com here or @yahoo.com here. This means that only people that have @strengthsprofile.com in their email or @yahoo.com in their email will be able to use the link. If somebody logged in with a Gmail account, the link would simply not work for them. You can put @strengthsprofile.com, you can put their whole email address in, you can put the name in, and you can add as many email domains as you want. You don't have to add any if you don't want to. Once you've selected all of your options, simply copy this or copy to clipboard, paste it into an email that you've drafted yourself and send it out. As and when people click the link, you'll see them pop up here. It will be profile progress and then complete. The second way to send a profile from a group is by sending a group invitation. You can do this by clicking on Add Members and then Send an Invitation. Add the email address of the person you want to send it to. And then pick the profile you wish to send. As you can see, I don't have any introductory profiles in my group, so it's letting me know that I don't have any there. So tick Expert. Again, here is the withhold option or the career guide. There isn't an email domain option here because this is email specific. So The person that you send it to must sign up with the exact same email address that you've entered here, otherwise they will not be able to access the assessment. At the bottom, you can preview and see what they will receive. So this comes from the system and it often goes to spam or junk folders, so be sure to check those. Once you're happy, click send, and once they accept, they will be part of the group. Next, we're going to have a look at adding members or administrators. So if somebody has already completed a profile or they're part of a different group and you want them to be part of this group, you can add them to the group without attaching a profile to the invitation. So to do this, you click on add members again, click send an invitation, add the email address of the person you wish to send to, and tick none. All this will do then, as you can see in the preview, is ask their permission for their recent profile to be shared with the group. Once they accept, you will have their name and their profile in the group. Participants who have been part of a group but aren't administrators can only see the name of the group. So when they log in and go to their groups, they will see how to groups, but there will not be an option to view here. It will just have a little no sign that they can't do any action with it. If you have a colleague that is working with you on the project that also needs access to the group, simply click on add or remove underneath administrators, click the plus sign, add the email address of the person you wish to be an administrator and invite them. They'll receive an email from the system, or when they log in, they'll have a notification at the top here. Next, we'll have a look at profile status. If you've sent an invitation and it hasn't yet been accepted, this is what it will look like. When people click the shareable code link, or when they do accept the invitation and start their assessment, it will say profile in progress. And finally, once they complete, it will be green and say profile complete. And you can also view that profile there. More options. As you can see at the side here, there are more options next to each person. Now the options change based on the status of the person. For example, here I've got an introductory profile that is complete. So what I can do there is upgrade to expert or send them a new profile. This one that hasn't yet accepted, I can resend the invitation or cancel it. This one here, it has been withheld, so I can release it, send a new profile, or promote this person to an administrator. And here, this person here has a more recent profile that I could include into this group. So I would request the latest intro profile. That will then ask them their permission for it to be shared within the group. If you wanted to unlock people's career guides, if you've selected it as no on the shareable code or by sending an invitation, you just click this here. As soon as you do that, their career guide will be a part of their profile and it will change color. Next, we're going to have a look at creating team profiles. Once everybody has completed their profiles, that is when you can create the team profiles. Ensure that you've transferred it over using the Manage Your Uses function. And then what you want to do is select the people you wish to include, and the button will highlight here. Now the process is exactly the same for either Team Manager or Team Expert. The only difference is with the Team Expert profiles, they all must have an expert profile. Team Manager can be used with expert profiles or introductory. Once you've selected everybody, click Create Team Manager Profile. Add a name. Ensure that you've got everybody here and then click Create Profile. Now it's really important that you make sure everybody is ready, everybody has completed their profiles, because once it has been created and generated, you cannot go back and add people or remove people. So this really is the last step. After you've completed it, it takes a couple of seconds to be ready to download, and you can download it straight away from here. If you ever wanted to go back and find the team profile, click View into the relevant group, scroll down, and you can see all of the profiles here. Next, we're going to have a look at downloading data or editing the group. So click View into the relevant group. You can download all profiles by clicking this button here. It does take a few minutes, depending on how many profiles you've got in there. So if it's taking a while, give it some time. There's a lot of data that it's downloading, so bear with it. Next, if you wanted to download a completion status report, especially if you've got a very big group, you can download it in two different formats, either a comma separated value or an Excel sheet by clicking these two here. If you wanted to edit the group details, as you can see in my group section, I've got lots of groups, very similar names, and it can be handy to either edit the name or add a description. And some notes, just so that you know what's in there. So if I save that, you can then see in here, I've got the description at the bottom. Finally, we're going to have a look at other bits and bobs to do with groups. So you can, if you click View into the relevant group, search for a member here. You can also remove members. As I was saying before, if you wanted to remove them from one group and add them to the other, if you want to remove them, simply click this button and remove members from this group. You can sort members alphabetically by clicking the User tab at the top. You can also do it by status. Finally, items per page. This would only really qualify if you've got quite a lot of people in a group, but you can change that to 10, 50, anything you want, whatever's easiest for you. And that is it from me. If you have any queries at all, please do feel free to send an email over to inquiries@strengthsprofile.com. Thank you very much for listening, and take care.